Welcome to Forgotten Past. Our channel is dedicated to exploring the rich tapestry of history, shining a light on the remarkable stories that have been overshadowed or forgotten over time. From ancient empires and lost civilizations to unsung heroes and pivotal moments that changed the course of human events, we delve into the depths of history to bring you tales that deserve to be remembered. Every week, we uncover intriguing stories that highlight the complexities of our past, whether it's the rise and fall of great empires, the mysteries of ancient artifacts, or the personal accounts of individuals whose impact shaped history in profound ways. We believe that understanding the past is essential to navigating the present and the future. Join our growing community by hitting that like button and subscribing. Your support not only helps us continue our exploration, but also connects you with fellow history buffs who share your passion. The dawn of civilization. The origins of ancient Egypt, in the heart of northeastern Africa, where the life-giving waters of the Nile River snaked through the arid landscape, a transformative journey began. This river, revered as the source of life, flowed through a land blessed with fertile soil and abundant resources. Here, in this enchanting region, the seeds of one of the world's first civilizations were sown, destined to thrive and leave an indelible mark on history. The formation of civilization. Around 5000 BCE, small groups of hunter-gatherers began to settle along the banks of the Nile, drawn by the promise of the river's annual flooding. With each rise and fall of the waters, the land transformed into a verdant oasis, bursting with life. Archaeologists have discovered remnants of early agricultural practices, such as storage facilities for grains and tools for farming, indicating that communities emerged, cultivating crops like wheat and barley. The domestication of animals such as cattle and goats provided a stable food supply, allowing these early societies to flourish. As these agricultural practices took root, the once nomadic tribes began to form larger settlements, where families gathered in harmony. The air was filled with laughter and the sounds of children playing, while farmers toiled in the fields, their hands working the rich, dark earth. The abundance of resources led to the rise of skilled artisans who crafted pottery, tools, and textiles, each item a testament to their growing civilization. Why settle here? The Egyptian landscape was a tapestry of contrasts. To the east lay the shimmering waves of the Red Sea, while to the west stretched the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, a formidable barrier that kept the land relatively safe from external threats. The Nile River, with its predictable floods, was not just a source of sustenance, it was the lifeblood of the civilization, providing water for crops and a highway for trade. The Nile's annual inundation was a remarkable phenomenon that enriched the soil, allowing for abundant harvests. This cycle of flooding and receding was so dependable that it became central to the Egyptians' agricultural calendar. The successful harvests enabled population growth and the establishment of complex societies. As generations passed, the decision to settle along the Nile became clear. The surrounding desert, harsh and unforgiving, could not support agriculture, making the fertile banks of the river the ideal location for developing a stable society. The Nile served as both a protector and a provider, allowing the early Egyptians to focus on their growth and prosperity. King Narmer's role. Around 3100 BCE, a pivotal moment in history unfolded: the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. This monumental event is largely attributed to a powerful figure known as King Narmer, or Menes, a ruler whose ambition and vision would shape the future of the nation. The role of Narmer before he became pharaoh. Narmer emerged as a significant figure in the late pre-dynastic period of Egypt, around 3150 BCE. His early life remains shrouded in mystery, but it is believed he was born into a noble family in Upper Egypt. His lineage provided him with the social standing and resources necessary to wield power during a time of intense rivalry between the two regions. As Narmer came of age, the political tensions between Upper and Lower Egypt escalated. The division was not merely geographical, it was also cultural and economic. Upper Egypt, with its narrow valleys and mountainous terrain, developed distinct customs and governance structures, while Lower Egypt, marked by the fertile Nile Delta, thrived on agriculture and trade. This divergence created an environment ripe for conflict, with local leaders vying for control over resources. Key battles and military campaigns. While specific details about Narmer's battles are not extensively documented, several archaeological findings indicate that he engaged in military actions to unify Egypt. The Narmer Palette. This ceremonial artifact, discovered in Hieroglyphics, provides crucial insights into Narmer's military campaigns. The palette depicts scenes of Narmer in battle, illustrating him smiting a rival leader, symbolizing his conquest of Lower Egypt. The imagery on the palette suggests that Narmer's military prowess was significant in his rise to power and serves as a historical testament to his achievements. The Battle of Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics, known as the religious and political center of Upper Egypt, was a stronghold for local rulers. As Narmer sought to consolidate his power, he likely launched a significant military campaign against Hieroglyphics. This battle was crucial because it symbolized the first major effort to assert dominance over Upper Egypt. Although specific details are scarce, archaeological evidence suggests that Narmer's forces engaged in fierce combat, utilizing chariots and infantry to overpower the local chieftains. The victory at Hieroglyphics established Narmer's reputation as a formidable leader and set the stage for his subsequent campaigns. The conquest of Lower Egypt. Narmer's ambitions extended beyond Upper Egypt as he focused on Lower Egypt, where he faced a coalition of local rulers who resisted his authority. The Narmer Palette depicts Narmer in the act of smiting a rival leader, symbolizing his conquest of Lower Egypt. This battle was not just a military engagement. It represented the culmination of Narmer's efforts to unify the two regions. The imagery on the palette is rich in symbolism, showcasing Narmer wearing the crowns of both Upper and Lower Egypt, underscoring his dual authority. The conquest involved strategic maneuvers, including the use of chariots in warfare, which provided him with a tactical advantage over his opponents. The campaigns against local chieftains. Following his victories in Hieroglyphics and Lower Egypt, Narmer likely continued to face challenges from local chieftains who resisted his rule. Evidence from archaeological sites, including fortified structures and weaponry, indicates that skirmishes persisted as Narmer sought to consolidate his power. These campaigns were essential in integrating Lower Egypt into the unified state. Narmer's ability to defeat these rival leaders showcased his military prowess and established a precedent for future pharaohs in maintaining control over their territories. In addition to military strength, Narmer likely employed diplomatic strategies to secure alliances and consolidate power. Marriages between upper-class families were common in ancient Egypt, and Narmer may have arranged unions with influential families in Lower Egypt to strengthen his claim to leadership. This combination of military might and diplomacy would prove crucial in his quest for unification. Ascension to the throne. After successfully unifying Upper and Lower Egypt, Narmer ascended to the throne, becoming the first pharaoh around 3100 BCE. His title signified not only his political authority, but also his divine kingship, as he was viewed as a mediator between the gods and the people. This dual role allowed him to maintain order and harmony within the kingdom. Key achievements of King Narmer. Establishment of the First Dynasty. Narmer founded the First Dynasty of Egypt, which set the precedent for future pharaonic rule. His establishment of a dynasty solidified the institution of monarchy in Egypt, ensuring that subsequent pharaohs would be seen as divine figures. Administrative reforms. Narmer implemented an administrative structure that allowed for effective governance. He introduced systems for resource management, taxation, and labor organization, which were essential for facilitating trade and agricultural practices. Monumental architecture. Under Narmer's reign, the tradition of constructing monumental burial structures began with the construction of mastabas. These rectangular tombs served as both burial sites and symbols of the pharaoh's power. Unification of Egypt. Narmer's most significant achievement was the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt around 3100 BCE. This monumental event established a single administrative and political entity, setting the foundation for a cohesive Egyptian identity. The symbolism of this unification is famously depicted on the Narmer palette, where he is shown wearing the crowns of both regions, representing his dual authority. Administrative reforms. Under Narmer's leadership, the administrative structure of Egypt was solidified. He likely introduced systems of governance that allowed for effective management of resources, taxation, and labor, facilitating the development of trade networks and agricultural practices. The creation of a bureaucratic system was essential for managing the large agricultural surplus. Military campaigns. Narmer's reign was characterized by military campaigns aimed at consolidating his power and expanding Egypt's influence. His successful conquests of rival territories not only secured his position, but also integrated various regions into the newly unified state. Cultural integration. Narmer's unification efforts extended beyond political boundaries. He also worked to integrate the diverse customs and practices of Upper and Lower Egypt. This cultural synthesis helped to forge a common identity among the Egyptians, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Religious significance. As pharaoh, Narmer was seen as the intermediary between the gods and the people. He likely commissioned the construction of temples dedicated to various deities, reinforcing the role of religion in governance. The belief in the divine right of kings became a cornerstone of Egyptian ideology, legitimizing the authority of the pharaoh. Development of writing. Narmer's reign coincided with the development of writing in ancient Egypt. The use of hieroglyphics began to flourish during this period, allowing for the documentation of religious texts, administrative records, and historical accounts. This advancement in communication played a crucial role in preserving Egypt's culture and history. Burial practices. The elaborate burial rites initiated during Narmer's reign were rooted in the Egyptians' belief in an afterlife. He was likely buried in a grand tomb at Abydos, filled with grave goods reflecting the belief that these items would be necessary in the afterlife. This emphasis on funerary practices set the stage for the monumental burial traditions that would follow in later dynasties. The pantheon of gods in ancient Egypt. Religion in ancient Egypt was polytheistic, with a vast pantheon of gods and goddesses, each representing different aspects of life, nature, and the cosmos. The Egyptians believed that these deities influenced daily life and the natural world, and their worship was integral to maintaining harmony and balance. Major gods and their roles. Ra, Re. The sun god, Ra was considered the most important deity in the Egyptian pantheon. He was often depicted as a falcon-headed man with a sun disk above his head. Ra was believed to travel across the sky in his solar boat during the day and navigate the underworld at night. The pharaohs were thought to be descendants of Ra, reinforcing their divine authority. Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Osiris was associated with resurrection and fertility. According to mythology, he was killed by his brother Set, but was resurrected by his wife Isis. Osiris became the ruler of the afterlife, where he judged the souls of the deceased. His story symbolized the cycle of death and rebirth. Isis. As the wife of Osiris and the goddess of motherhood and magic, Isis was revered for her protective qualities. She was often depicted as a woman with a throne-shaped headdress and was believed to have powerful healing abilities. Worship of Isis spread beyond Egypt, influencing other cultures in the ancient world. Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis. Horus was the god of the sky and kingship. He was often depicted as a falcon or a falcon-headed man. Horus symbolized the living pharaoh, and his mythology was closely tied to the legitimacy of royal power. Anubis, the god of mummification and the afterlife. Anubis was depicted as a jackal or a man with a jackal's head. He was believed to protect the dead and guide souls to the afterlife. Anubis played a crucial role in the embalming process and was associated with funerary rituals. Ma'at, the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Ma'at was depicted as a woman with an ostrich feather. The concept of Ma'at was central to Egyptian society, representing balance and harmony. The pharaohs were responsible for upholding Ma'at, ensuring order in both the cosmos and society. Worship practices. Worship of the gods was a fundamental aspect of daily life in ancient Egypt, and it involved various rituals, offerings, and festivals. Here are some key practices. Temples. Temples were the primary sites of worship, dedicated to specific deities. These grand structures served as both religious and economic centers. Priests conducted daily rituals, offered prayers, and presented offerings to the gods. Only priests could enter the inner sanctum of the temple, where the deity's statue was housed. Offerings. Worshippers presented offerings to the gods, which included food, drink, incense, and valuable goods. These offerings were believed to nourish the gods and ensure their favor. Common people could also participate in public rituals and make offerings at local shrines. Festivals. Religious festivals celebrated significant events in the mythologies of the gods. These festivals included music, dancing, feasting, and processions. For example, the Opet festival celebrated the flooding of the Nile and involved a procession of the god Amun statue from Karnak to Luxor. Rituals and prayers. Daily rituals included reciting prayers and hymns, lighting incense, and performing cleansing rites. Special ceremonies marked important life events, such as births, marriages, and funerals, incorporating prayers to seek the gods' blessings. Funerary practices. The worship of gods was deeply intertwined with beliefs about the afterlife. Funerary rituals aimed to ensure a successful journey to the afterlife. This included mummification, which preserved the body, and the inclusion of grave goods to accompany the deceased in their next life. Daily life in ancient Egypt. Daily life in ancient Egypt was shaped by the agricultural calendar, social hierarchy, and the rhythms of the Nile. Archaeological findings provide a glimpse into the daily activities, customs, and social structure of ancient Egyptians. Farming practices. The majority of the population were farmers who relied on the annual flooding of the Nile to irrigate their fields. Archaeological evidence indicates that crops such as wheat, barley, and flax were cultivated, forming the basis of the Egyptian diet. Excavations of ancient granaries have revealed the scale of agricultural production, allowing for surplus food that supported population growth and trade. Trade networks. Trade was vital to the economy, with goods exchanged not only within Egypt, but also with neighboring regions. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of trade routes that connected Egypt to areas such as Nubia and the Levant, facilitating the exchange of resources like gold, incense, and precious stones. The wealth generated from trade allowed for the flourishing of arts and crafts. Hierarchical society. Egyptian society was highly stratified, with the pharaoh at the top, followed by nobles, priests, scribes, artisans, and farmers. Archaeological findings, such as grave goods and burial sites, provide insights into the wealth and status of different social classes. Tombs of nobles often contained elaborate decorations and valuable artifacts, indicating their elevated status in society compared to the simpler graves of common farmers. Women's roles. Women in ancient Egypt enjoyed a relatively high status compared to other ancient civilizations. They could own property, initiate divorce, and engage in business. Archaeological evidence, such as legal documents and inscriptions, highlights the rights and roles of women in society. Some women even held positions of power, such as Hatshepsut, who became one of the few female pharaohs in history. Family structure. Family life was central to Egyptian culture, with extended families often living together. Archaeological findings suggest that marriages were typically arranged, with families seeking to strengthen alliances through marriage. Daily activities included farming, crafting, and childcare, with family members working together to sustain their households. Festivals and celebrations. Festivals celebrating the flooding of the Nile, agricultural harvests, and religious rituals were integral to community life. Archaeological evidence from ancient sites indicates that music, dance, and feasting were common during these celebrations, reinforcing social bonds and cultural identity. The Opet festival, for example, celebrated the fertility of the land and involved processions, music, and offerings to the gods. Conclusion: the legacy of ancient Egypt. The story of ancient Egypt is one of innovation, resilience, and cultural richness. From its humble beginnings along the banks of the Nile to the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under King Narmer, the civilization established a legacy that would endure for millennia. The pharaohs, as both political and divine figures, shaped the course of history through their achievements, monumental architecture, and cultural developments. As the sun sets over the horizon, casting a warm glow across the Nile, the narrative of ancient Egypt continues to resonate through history, captivating the imaginations of those who seek to understand the mysteries of this remarkable civilization. The echoes of their achievements, beliefs, and way of life remain a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people who transformed a landscape and forged a legacy that endures to this day. This revised narrative now includes detailed information about the gods worshipped in ancient Egypt, their significance, and the practices associated with their worship, alongside the broader context of ancient Egyptian civilization. If you have any further requests or specific areas you want to explore, feel free to let me know. Welcome to Forgotten Past. Our channel is dedicated to exploring the rich tapestry of history, shining a light on the remarkable stories that have been overshadowed or forgotten over time. From ancient empires and lost civilizations to unsung heroes and pivotal moments that changed the course of human events, we delve into the depths of history to bring you tales that deserve to be remembered. Every week, we uncover intriguing stories that highlight the complexities of our past, whether it's the rise and fall of great empires, the mysteries of ancient artifacts, or the personal accounts of individuals whose impact shaped history in profound ways. We believe that understanding the past is essential to navigating the present and the future. Join our growing community by hitting that like button and subscribing. Your support not only helps us continue our exploration, but also connects you with fellow history buffs who share your passion. As we wrap up this exploration of the forgotten past, we hope you've gained new insights and a deeper appreciation for the events and figures that have shaped our world. History is not just a collection of dates and facts. It's a tapestry of human experiences, triumphs, and lessons that resonate even today. By understanding our history, we can better navigate our present and inspire our future. If you found value in today's journey, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to uncover and share these incredible stories from history. Join our community of history enthusiasts, and together, let's keep the conversation alive. Until next time, remember that every story from the past has something to teach us.